Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Albert. So today we are going to look at how to integrate Cisco Meraki into Okta. And as you know, Okta is the leader when it comes to the identity and access management tools in the market. So Okta has been in existence for a while, and a lot of companies are using Okta. So I know some people reach out to me on YouTube and were asking me uh, the certification that they should get if they whether they want to get into either Okta or SailPoint or Ping Federate and the other tools that is in the market. Well, if you ask me, I have checked some of those tools, but I want to say that Okta is such an easy and simple environment or a simple tool that anybody can can study and then become an engineer, become a professional in using Okta. So um, in the security field, currently identity and access management or identity and access is very important when it comes to the security of every organization. So if you are in the security field and you want to get into IAM, I think that it will be something that you should really consider, because now a lot of companies are hiring for um, a lot of IAM engineers, IAM architects, and IAM managers. So it is a very, I would say, I will not say that it's a very new field in the cybersecurity environment, but it's been in existence for a while. It's been in existence for a while. So, if you are an IM engineer and you're watching this video, I think that this video will help you. I kind of decided to look at it today at work when I was like, oh, you know what, let me just go ahead and then do this demo integration in the office. So I did that and then it worked, and I thought of doing a video to share with the IM community. So if you're an IM engineer and you are trying to integrate Cisco Meraki with Okta, this video can really help you. The other thing is that somebody also reached out to me on LinkedIn, not on LinkedIn, I think on YouTube, that they want to know how to set up a custom application with Okta, how to integrate a custom application with Okta. And I'm going to use maybe 5 minutes to do a demonstration of how you can integrate a custom application with Okta, and I'll use the Cisco Meraki to do the demonstration so that you can see how that is done. I think that will help a lot. But I think that it should be something that is very easy to do on the Okta console. So yes, so let's start. So here I'm logging into my Okta environment. So this is my personal Okta environment. This is not my company's Okta. This is my personal Okta console that I've logged into it. If you want to have your own console, your own Okta console, you can go to Okta development home. Let me just pull it here so that you can see. So when you go to Google, maybe you want to learn how maybe you are studying for the Okta certification and you want to know how to get your own Okta console and then maybe do some practice on it. You can go to Google and type Okta dev, and that should open for you, and then it's going to ask you for you're supposed to look for this link, the Okta developer.okta.com, and it should bring you to this page. So when it brings you to this page, you can go ahead and then sign up, or you can log in. You can just log in using your Gmail, and it will give you Okta. I think Okta will give you access to one of the console. All right. So this is my console, and if you also want to watch more videos on Okta, I have a lot of videos in my that I've uploaded in my channel, so you can go ahead and watch most of the videos and tutorials that I've done on Okta, and I think that it will help you. Right. So as you can see, this is not this Okta console that I have is the Okta Classic engine. It's not the Okta Identity engine. This is the Classic engine that I'm using. So maybe, but it's actually the same thing with the Okta Identity engine, just that the OIE is a little bit advanced and has some more features, and yeah, more features than the Classic engine. Sorry about that. All right. So this is my my dashboard. Now I already have my Cisco Meraki. Actually, I used to work as a wireless network engineer, so I've dealt with Cisco Meraki. If you are watching this video and you don't know anything about Cisco Meraki, don't worry. This is for the network engineers. But if you're an IM engineer, I think that is you should at least know. Well, there's no need of you for you to know what Cisco Meraki does. It's just the integration that I'm going to show you. But if you want to get into network engineering, yes, then sure, then you have to learn something about Cisco Meraki. It's just a product. They have different products like access points, switches, and cameras that you can just what do we call it? Configure on the dashboard. So like Cisco Meraki is like a centralized hub where you can manage all your access point and all your switches and all your cameras at the same time. So this Cisco Meraki here is a trial, or what do you call it? It's a demo version that Cisco Meraki gave me. So, and that's one of the things that you can learn. If you want to learn something, just or maybe learn an application, just go to the what do we call it, their website, and request for a demo. They can give you a 30 days demo, and then 30 days trial version, and then you can use that to learn anything that you want to learn. So that at the end of the day, if you're going to write any certification, it becomes more easier for you to know hands-on before you write the certification. That's one of the things that I do. So I have a lot of applications that I've signed up for 30 days trial, and then that's what I've been learning. So this is my Cisco Meraki dashboard, and I've already created my network, right? So here, when you come to the Okta dashboard, this is my Okta dashboard, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is that we are going to integrate the Cisco Meraki dashboard into Okta, so that whenever a user, or if any user wants to access Cisco Meraki, they just have to go into Okta, and then they will just open their dashboard, their user dashboard, and it takes them straight up to Okta, or connect them to the Cisco Meraki dashboard without requiring any password or anything like that. That is where the SSO Saml protocol comes in. So the first thing that we're going to do, and if you want to watch more videos on single sign-on and then Saml, what do we call it, single sign-on protocols, you can watch some of my videos. I already have some of my videos that I've done on single sign-on and then protocols, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is go to applications, and then come here, and then yeah, so here we have create app integration, and we have browse app integration. So for example, let's say the Cisco Meraki application that I have open here is something like, let's say my company has developed, right, and we want to integrate that into Okta. How are you going to do it? So like, let's say it's a custom application that we built. How are we going to do it? So first of all, you need to know this. You need to know the single sign-on protocol that application support. Every application has their protocol that the developers integrated into it, right? So it's not just any single sign-on protocol it's not any application that has all the single sign-on protocols. Some applications have just Saml integration, some have the secure web authentication, some have OpenID, OpenIDC, OpenIDC, or OIDC. So it depends on the application. So if your company created a custom application and you want to integrate that into Okta, that is the first thing you need to know. You need to know what protocol was in which of the protocols did the developers integrated into the into the application, into the custom application. So if it is Saml, then you come to create app integration here, and then you select the Saml here, the Saml 2.0, which is an XML based open standard for single sign-on. So normally it's much easier because with the Saml integration, you only download the metadata. So you download the metadata and then you upload the metadata into the application, and then it just connects to Okta. It is very, very simple, right? So so if it is Saml, then you click on Saml 2.0, then you go to Next. So when you come to Next, this is what is going to open for you. So you're going to give a name to the app. So let's say this one is called the Cisco Meraki, but I'm just going to just miss the name, Cisco Meraki, but I'm not going to spell it like that because I'm going to do the integration here. Cisco Meraki or whatever. Okay, let's say no, Cisco is somebody's name. Okay, let's say the name of the application is, let's say, Donny. All right. So let's say the custom application is Donny. So here, when you come to app logo, then you can go ahead and then browse for the application logo. So you can come here and then upload the logo of the application in here. So the next thing is that you need to go ahead and click Next, and then you come to the second tab, which is Configure Saml. So here I'm using the Saml protocol. So if the custom application has a Saml inbuilt, this is where you are going to configure everything. So in your application, you should have what we call the metadata for your application. So here is asking you for a single sign-on URL, which is going to be the URL of your application. So let me just show you something real quick. So let's say if it was Cisco Meraki that I was using, the URL will be this URL here, right? It's going to be this URL. So I can go ahead and copy this, and then come and where is it? Okta here. Come and then paste this sign on your URL here, right? So this is going to be the URL because it's going to connect directly to the application, your custom application. Then it's going to ask you for the audience URL, and as I do the integration with Meraki, you will see the audience URL, right? So the audience URL is actually the URL that is going to also what do we call it? Help with the integration with your custom application, right? So here you're supposed to put the custom URL, the single sign-on URL here, and all this portion it will definitely come from your application. Then we have the name ID format. So you can go ahead if you want to use email address or well, you can leave it as unspecified, and the application username you can leave it as the Okta username, or just they have the email username preference, but always leave it as username based on how the developers build the app, right? So then you can go ahead and then you can preview. So when after you filled everything, you can come in here and then add the attribute. So the attribute depends on whatever you want to put in. You can put in the name and then put in the value, right? It depends on whatever you want to, the attribute. I think it's supposed to be. So you can go ahead and then put in the attribute and then put in the value of it and everything here. But for right now, it's optional. You can decide to leave it, and after you're done with the integration of the application, you can then come in here and then fill this attribute. Then you can go ahead. Next thing will be the preview the Saml session. So the Saml session here. All right. So okay, here it says that this shows you the XML that will be used in the session. So if you are doing the integration, your application will need a Saml session from Okta. So when you fill this audience URL and you fill everything here, make sure everything is correct, and then after you, and also you've been able to configure the attribute. Then when you come to preview the Saml session, because when you put in the, what do we call it, the audience URL and the single sign-on URL, and then you click next, what Okta is going to do is that it will try to connect with your application. So if the connection is established, there's going to be a trust relationship between Okta and then your application, right? Now, what happened is that Okta would then generate the Saml session for you, and then you can copy that Saml session and then put it in your application. So when you put in your application, then what happened is that your application will also have a full, what we call it, will give a full permission to Okta, so that it can connect with each other, and then that kind of trust relationship will work. So basically, that's what they're going to do. The third one will be the feedback. So after you are done with everything and then you imported everything, then you can go ahead and then test the application. That is just how you're going to do. They're going to do that, right? It is very, very simple thing to do. And that is if you are using the Saml protocol. If you are going to use, let me go ahead and cancel this. Okay, let's go to application. If you are going to use, let's say, secure web authentication, that is, if the application does not support OIDC and then Saml, then you can go ahead and then use the secure web application. And I think that is also exactly the same process. So the app name, the logo page, apps logo page, URL, put in everything here, and then you can just click finish. It's also one of the simplest things to do, to integrate an application into Okta, right? So yeah, so that is just, by the way, for those who are like the person who was asking me about how you can integrate the custom application into Okta. That's one of the simplest way that you can do it. All right, so let's go ahead. So then the next thing I'm going to do is that I'll come to applications, and you have to come here if the application is very popular. If the application is something that has been in the market for a while, I know very sure that Okta has already done some integration with the application. So maybe there's a kind of a trust relationship already that is existing between Okta and that application. So you can come to Browse App Catalog here, and then you can come to search. So search here, this is where you're going to search for the application. So I'm looking for Cisco Meraki. All right, hold on, all right. So here we have the Cisco Meraki Dashboard, which is SWA Secure Web Authentication, and you have Cisco Meraki Dashboard Saml. Now, in this instance, what you gotta do is that you need to go to the application. You need to go to the Meraki Dashboard, the Meraki Dashboard, and look for what protocol was integrated with Meraki. That was what I said earlier, that whenever you are trying to do the integration with Okta, you need to identify the protocol that the developers integrated with the application before you assign that protocol to the application. So when you come to the Okta dashboard, the first thing the Meraki dashboard, the first thing you need to do is to go to settings. When you come to settings here, you have to scroll down to, you see that here the authentication, we have authentication here. And with this authentication here, is you can see down here it has a Saml SSO authentication, which simply means that the Cisco guys, they use the Saml protocol to they integrated the Saml protocol into Cisco Meraki, which makes it more easier. So here I can then come here and then enable this SSO. So when I enable this SSO, let me go ahead and then clear this because I did that earlier. Let me go ahead and clear this. So, all right, perfect. So now let me go ahead and then, perfect. So normally you are going to see here, it says that add Saml IdP, right? Add Saml IdP. So I can go ahead and click next. And when I click next, you see that I have the consumer URL the consumer URL vision, they are actually exactly the same. Then we have the X.509 set SHAI fingerprint, and we have the SSO login URL. So this SSO login URL will be from Okta. And then we have the SSO is supposed to be SSO. Okay, slow logout URL. This one will also be the URL from Okta. So the X.509 certification is actually from Okta too. So that's what we're going to do. So now the first thing we need to do is that we have to go to Okta. So now we have identified that Meraki uses Saml protocol, right? So then we can come back to Okta here and then select the Cisco Meraki Dashboard Saml. So I click on this, and then when you scroll down, you can see that it has the authentication there. Sorry, the SSO protocol. We have the Saml protocol, the OIDC protocol. We have the WS Federation and secure web authentication. But Saml is the one that is highlighted because of what the Cisco engineers already did. So when you go up here, the next thing is that you're going to click on Add Integration. So this brings you to the initial setup for Cisco Meraki Dashboard. The Cisco Meraki Dashboard. The first thing is that it's going to ask you for the application label, which simply means that the name of the application. You have the Cisco Meraki Dashboard Saml. Here, the application visibility, this one you don't do anything. Do not display the application icon to users. Do not display application icon in the Okta mobile app. So here, you just don't do anything, just leave it as it is, and then you can go ahead and click done. All right. So now this is where the activity or the job is. So as you can see here, we have the Cisco Meraki logo, and this is the name of the Cisco Meraki Dashboard Saml. So in here you can see that it says active, which simply means that the app is active, but just that it's not really working because we haven't done any integration, so there's no way it's going to work. So we have active here, and then you can see that Saml 2.0 here is also enabled. So the next thing that we're going to do is we need to go to sign on. So when you look at this sign on here, this is all about the Saml 2.0 that is displaying for you to see the integration. So you can see here that here it has the metadata URL, right? The metadata URL. If it was going to ask, if the application, if the Meraki dashboard application was asking for metadata URL, we will have copied this metadata URL and then paste it here. But this one is asking for X.509 certification. So that's what we are supposed to put in, not the metadata. So that's what we're going to do. When you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see here that we have the consumer URL, we have the Saml administrator role, we have the username attribute value, right? And we have here, you can see that here, the Saml sign-in certificate, which is the SHA2. So this is basically what we're going to put in here. So as you can see, the SHA1 fingerprint. All right, so now we have to go ahead and then view the Saml setup integration. So Okta makes it more very easier for IAM engineers to do all this integration. So when you look at it right here, you can see that on the right side here, you can see that they have everything about Saml 2.0, what it does, the application username, and Saml setup. So here they've given you the setup instructions, which should be very simple. So when you click on the view Saml setup instruction, alrighty, you can see at the top here it says how to configure Saml 2.0 for Cisco Meraki Dashboard, right? With Okta. So when you scroll down, it gives you the steps on how you can do how you can set up everything, right? So right now, this is what we are looking for. We are looking for the X.509 set SHA1 fingerprint. So we're going to copy this one here and then come to Cisco Meraki and then paste this one inside here. So we have this one here. The next thing that we're going to look for is in the setup is to copy the SLO logout URL. So we are going to copy this SLO URL here, come to Cisco Meraki, and then paste this one here. The next thing is that, as you can see, we have the login URL. Now, when you look at the setup, it doesn't really give any login URL. So what you're going to do is that you're going to copy here. Just a minute. You are going to copy this URL and then come and paste in here. Great. All right. So when you do this, you are done for here. So if I click save, the next thing is that the consumer URL here is going to pop up for me to copy and then paste it into Okta. So I'll go ahead and save this. Alrighty. All right. So now you can see that I have the consumer URL. So now there are two. This consumer URL here, this one is not, you're not supposed to use this one. So when you put the cursor here, it will tell you that this URL is where users must be redirected after authentication. This URL is the same as the consumer URL, but would redirect users to Meraki Vision after authentication, and we are not dealing with Meraki Vision, right? So now what we're going to do is that we're going to copy this consumer URL, and then we come to Okta here. We click on Edit Settings. So now this side, you're going to leave it. You're not supposed to do anything there. You're going to leave it like that. So here it's asking us for Saml administrator role. We are going to look at it later. So now the next thing that we're going to do is that this consumer URL, we are supposed to paste this consumer URL here. So you see that here is asking for Saml administrator role. What we need to do is that we have to go back to Cisco Meraki Dashboard, and then come to organizations, and then come to administrators, because we need to give it a role. And also, if you miss this step, you can come to the setup here, and you can come and look at something here. Just a minute, let me show you here. So you said about navigate to organization administrators, and then click add some more rules. So here gives you the steps, so you can look at this one. All right. So here we are going to add a role. What do we call it? We are going to add a Saml role here, and then we are going to give the name, the role name to Okta. It's just like, it's just like on AWS, when you create, whenever you are doing or whenever you are adding an IDP to AWS, you need to create a role, right? You need to create a role for that particular IDP so that it can be able to talk to the other one. So that is the other thing. So here we are going to add a role, and we are going to call this role Okta Saml. All right. And then we have the organization access. So we are going to give this role a full access, right? Those of you have been, I think that, yeah, if you are an IM engineer, definitely you should know what the role is. When you go to Azure Active Directory, you will learn more about roles. When you go to AWS, you also learn more about roles. So we are going to give the Okta Saml a full access to Cisco Meraki Dashboard. So the next thing is that you see here it says target. So we need to add a target to it. So this role, we need to attach this role. Normally, why do I always, I keep on remembering my AWS steps. So we need to go at network that I've created on my Cisco dashboard. So what I'm doing right now is that I'm giving a full access privilege to Okta to be able to access the Cisco Meraki dashboard. So now this is going to be a target. And after choosing the target, then the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to say full. So it's targeting this, but it should have a full access to this one, right? So I can go ahead and then create this role. All right, and then click on Save Changes. So here it has registered. As you can see, it has organizational privilege, and it's targeting the tech bet -test. So now I'll go to Okta here and then put in the name. You know what? Let me go back and then make sure that I read them. I shouldn't. Let me go and then let me put a hyphen here. I shouldn't put space. So I can come to Okta here and give it. Yeah, I will tell you that don't leave space in between, just for your own sake. You know, Saml. So we can come to Okta Saml, so that at least it can become one. So here we have the username attribute. We have to change it to username. It shouldn't be email, because whenever you are trying to log in into the Cisco Meraki Dashboard, I use my username and I use my password, right? So, okay. So now, yeah, setting save. So now we are done. We are done with integration. So here, when you come to general, we are done with we are done with this integration. What we need to do, well, if I had users, so let's say if I had users, well, I can easily what do we call it, import the users into Okta. If I had users in, let's say, the Cisco Meraki Dashboard, I can easily import them. So now let me go ahead and then do the assignment. So the assignment simply means that I have to assign this application to the users in my company. So for example, let's say, because the Cisco Meraki Dashboard is used by network engineers, network administrators, and sometimes tech support. You know, desktop support people also use the Cisco Meraki Dashboard, because sometimes maybe they want to check if, let's say, if a Wi-Fi is down, let's say if an access point is down, they want to look at what is causing the problem. They want to look at the health of the access point, everything. If they want to change the Wi-Fi name in organization, they can come and then change the Wi-Fi name in organization, depending on whatever that you are trying to do. So they can use the Cisco Meraki to do all those things. So let's say in our organization, we have desktop support, we have network engineers, and then they use the Cisco Meraki. So now if they want to come and then change the Wi-Fi name, they can come to the wireless and then change, maybe add a new access point to the Cisco Meraki Dashboard. They can do it. So we are going to make their work more simple. Whenever they are trying to get access to it or log into the Cisco Meraki, they don't need to put in their username and password, and maybe they forget they have to then recreate their reset their password. No, we don't want them to do that. We want them to log in smoothly. That's what we are trying to do. So now what we are doing here is that we need to assign the app to the users in organization. So in my organization, in Okta, when you come to directory, we have people, we have groups. So the people are the users of your organization. So when you click that tab, it's going to bring out all the users in your organization. So when you see here, you can see that I have different users that I've created. The next thing is that I need to assign the application to one of the users. So let's say this person called Kwame Edu. Kwame Edu here is a network engineer. And so because Kwame Edu is a network, let me go ahead and then look at his profile. So I can go ahead and edit his profile here, and then look at his department will be let's say network. Yeah, so let's say that is his department. His department is network, and his title is, let's say, network engineer. All right, so you have network engineer. Click save. All right, ready. So coming here is a network engineer. Hold on a minute, let me go ahead. I think that you can also learn what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to create a group, and I'm going to call this group the network engineers. So network engineers. All right, So we have there, where is it? Okay, so normally whenever you create a group, it takes a little while before it populates. So you need to refresh the page. Great. So refresh the page. We have a network engineer. So I know that somebody might ask, why is a Microsoft 365 logo showing up, and then this one is also showing up in Okta logo? So this thing is very simple. So this one, the Okta logo simply means that I created the group in Okta. The Microsoft 365 logo that you are seeing here means that all these groups that you see here, the testing staff, HR administrative group, here I created them in Microsoft 365 or Microsoft Azure Active Directory, and then I integrated the Microsoft 365 into my Okta. And what I did, the next thing I did was that I provisioned the users and the groups into Okta. That's why you were seeing. So all these staff groups that you see, I imported them from my Microsoft 365 environment. I did not create them. So that's the reason why you are seeing this logo here, right? So this is the network engineer, right? Our network engineers group. And here we've seen that Kwame is also a network engineer. So there are two ways that I can assign the application. Okay, so there are two ways that I can do this. I can decide that I will add application to the network engineers group, or I'll assign the application to Kwame. So, but now what I'm going to do is that, let's say, just in case that in the organization, we have, let's say, 10 network engineers, you should not assign the application to each person. What you need to do is that after you created a network engineers group, you can assign the application to the network engineer group, and then you can go ahead and then all the users can go ahead and then get access to the application. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add Kwame to the network engineers group. So let me go ahead and then open Kwame profile here, and then come to groups. So here Kwame is part of the everyone group right now, that I can go ahead and then search for a group here, network engineers group, and then add a network engineers group to Kwame. So Kwame is now part of network engineers group. So now the next thing is that I'm going to assign the application to the network engineers group. So I'll go to applications here, and then come to select the Cisco Meraki Dashboard, and then I'll come to assign, and then let's say assign to groups. So here I'm going to search for the network engineers, so assign, and then I'm going to hit done. So now I'm done with this part. Then the other part is that I need to go to the security and go to multi-factor authentication. I need to make sure that the factor enrollment is correct. So here I can see that the policy that I've already created for stuff, I've already added the network engineers. I can go ahead and then even just delete this one, delete this policy, and just assign this policy to everybody in the organization, because at the end of the day, everybody's going to use the same rule. So now this factor enrollment is for everybody here in the organization that I've created. So now this is what we've done. So when you come to Kwame right now, let me go to directory and go to people, and then you search for Kwame, and then you look at application. You can see that here it says that assignment and app username is a network engineer. So it's the network engineers, which simply means that Kwame got this application via the network engineers group, right? So the next thing that we're going to do is that we're going to log into Kwame end user dashboard and see if we can access the Okta Meraki Dashboard. So that's what the next thing. So I'm just going to bring up an incognito window, and then, but before that, we need to get access to the dashboard. So we need to copy this. Now, don't copy this. Don't copy this link. Rather, look at here. You click here, and then you copy this one. You copy this link, the dev 375. This one you're supposed to copy, and then give it to your users. So you come here, incognito, and then you paste in here. So you paste it, right? It's going to ask for the username and password. So I need to go ahead and copy this username from here, and then paste the username. I'm going to put in the password. It should ask me for the multi-factor authentication. If not, maybe I think I disable it. Okay. All right. So now, yes, we've logged in into Kwame's user dashboard, and you can see that the app is appearing in Kwame's user dashboard because Kwame is part of the network engineers group. That is the reason why Kwame is not has been assigned to this. Now the next thing is that here, when Kwame comes to work or wherever Kwame is in the world, that is the power of Okta and the single sign-on. Wherever Kwame is in the world, if Kwame open up the user dashboard and then he clicks on this, it should take him to the Meraki dashboard directly without requiring the password. So as you can see, this is it. So this is the Meraki dashboard. It did not ask for any password. So Kwame, as a network engineer, can then come in and then do whatever he want to do because, yeah. So as you can see, this is it. This is the Arizona network that I created. Currently, I don't have any access point. I only have SSID that I created. So you can see now I'm working out from here. It did not ask me for any password or anything like that before I was able to get into it. So now that basically that is it. So yes, so that is how you do the integration. So if you want to take off the, let's say Kwame has left the organization, he shouldn't get access to this, you can just quickly go ahead and then go to the groups. So let's say maybe you want to disable the application, you can come to groups and then come to the network engineers and then go to applications, and then you can delete the application from the groups here. And then when you come to the dashboard, let me just go ahead and click this. When you come to the dashboard and then I refresh this, I think the app should leave. Yeah, the app should be deleted. So now you can see that the app has been deleted because Kwame doesn't have access to the app again because the app has been deleted from the network engineers group. So yes, so this is how you do the integration. This is very, very simple. If you want to get rid of it, when you go to applications, if you want to get rid of the application, you can just go ahead and then just click here and then deactivate the application. So you can deactivate the application and it should work nicely. Alrighty. All right. So this is how you do the integration. All right. If you like this video, you can go ahead and then subscribe to my YouTube channel and then like this video. Thank you so much. All right.